We'll see. We'll see. Yep. Moving on to our next game, clean old fashioned hate. Uh, Georgia, they defeated Georgia Tech this weekend, 16-9. Mash, you and I were both at this game this weekend, in a new site for the first time. This is the first time that this game has ever not been held on a college campus. How did it feel being in Mercedes-Benz Stadium for this matchup?
So first of all, it's not cleaned old-fashioned hate anymore. Now it's the Invesco QQQ Gridiron Classic. All right,
Yep,
classic
yep.
name there. But any case, we were both at the game. We were sitting in different places, but man, it was cold outside. So I'm kind of glad it was inside. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wish it wasn't like a neutral game or like at a
Hmm.
neutral site, even though it was technically a home game for Georgia Tech. Um, but I'll just say I was glad to be in the warm. But it did seem like there were a lot of Georgia folks there. From where we were sitting, it seemed like it was more red and black. But I was surprised to see the stadium was full. Like
Um,
it was a fun environment. I had fun. I went with my friend. Shout out to Steven. He's a Georgia Tech guy, and we were enjoying our time with the people around us. But yeah, I had a good time. Do I want it at Mercedes Benz every year? Absolutely not. But for maybe like a one time thing or here and there, whatever.
Yeah. Yep. No, that's fair. That's fair. So yeah, let's talk about what we noticed overall for this game. Um, it was pretty anticlimactic compared to what we saw last year in the 8 overtime thriller. Don't get me wrong, it was still a close game, but there wasn't much offense in this game. I mean, Georgia had 260 yards total offensive production, while Tech only had 250. Very uncharacteristic for both teams, in my opinion. Mash, what was the difference?
Yeah, for Tech, I think they faced a very tough defense. That is, a tough defense in the SEC, which is much different than what they faced. Much bigger, faster than what they've been used to seeing. Haynes King was pressured a lot, which Georgia hasn't all season. They haven't shown a lot
Mhm.
to be able to pressure the quarterback. I mean, and Georgia did a good job of not letting him get comfortable in the run or the pass game. He was the leading rusher with 39 yards for Georgia Tech. I think that speaks volumes of how well this Georgia defense did against the run in general. Their four quarter performance is really what led them to not give up a single touchdown. Haynes King tried to throw a couple bombs. Ellis Robinson came up with a pick one time. The other one was like a Hail Mary, which obviously was batted down. So yeah, they only gave up, three field goals throughout the whole game. For for Georgia, I'm not sure what Mike Bobo's game plan was this week, what him and Kirby was cooking up, but ironically, to me, it seemed like to mimic what Tech normally wants to do. It consisted of a lot of misdirection and QB runs. We saw Gunnar Stockton run the ball 15 times, and many of those runs were misdirection with motion or option reads. Nate Frazier had a great day. I mean, it seemed like every single carry just went to him. 16 carries, 108 yards. The run game was definitely effective for Georgia over the weekend. Georgia was able to score when they needed to, but the amount of points that they put up against a defense who is terrible, who is notoriously known for bad performances, it could put question marks if they want to make a national title run. I will say this, however, even though this was not the normal production we see from Georgia, it felt like they were in control the whole time. They ran the ball plenty, and they trusted their defense when it was time to punt.
Yeah, yeah. For Georgia Tech, this pretty much puts a sore nail into their hopes of any type of playoff chances, if there were any, and it solidifies UGA's chances. Pretty much clinches, well, regardless of this game, they clinched a conference championship berth because of Texas A&M loss on Friday night. Um, we'll see how well this offense executes against probable college football playoff competition. They got Alabama next week, so they got to gear up for one of the best, right?
Yep.